Parsa, season high for you tonight. Just sort of what were you seeing out there? What were you feeling out there?
Yeah, I mean, before I start, I just want to say thank you, God and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It was a great game. My teammates was trusting me, so I just did what I'm supposed to do and finish.
I take it Steve's halftime message was probably pretty clear to you guys. What was halftime like?
Yeah, we wasn't playing how we were supposed to be playing.
What do you say?
Anthony, you had a burst in Chicago that was sort of similar to what you had tonight. Sort of, what are you feeling whenever you get in those modes like that?
I don't know. I feel good and comfortable taking shots. My teammates have a lot of trust in me, so it just be like I feel good out there. I don't know.
For any of you three that want to answer, you guys have had a few close games now here, and the last ones have played well down the stretch to close them out. Is there something that about this team that's helping you guys play well in tight games late?
We stick together. We trust each other. We know we in the gym with each other day in and day out. We know what we are capable of. And the main thing is we just a unit. So when things get tough, we don't really run from it. We bond more together and we figure it out. So, yeah.
Was this a fun? It was obviously really competitive out there. Was this a fun game to be a part of for you guys?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we're playing our best right now, but we learning how to play together more. And that's what non-conference games are all about. We love the atmosphere here, appreciate all the people coming out, but better basketball is on the way to be played.
What do those next steps sort of look like to get to that better basketball?
Just the little things, rebounding, talking, and just being unselfish.
Along those lines, I think there was 3 of you maybe that had at least 5 assists. So you feel like there's even more to come with the sharing of the ball?
Yeah, that's been something that's been talked about a lot recently. It's just moving the ball and just trusting in your teammate. So that's something everybody has to work on, me included. And I think the more you trust in somebody, the more they'll trust in you.
You guys all played more minutes, I think, than usual. The bench wasn't as deep tonight. Just sort of how are you feeling lungs-wise? You guys are a team that's deep, so you haven't had to play these types of minutes. What was that aspect of it like for any of you?
We run a lot in practice, so we're not really necessarily tired. I say more so, just the bumps and the bruises of the game. It's a very physical rest. Let us play, but I don't think we're like fatigued or nothing. We do a lot of running in practice.
What's it like for you, Kanye, playing on the floor with Jalen at the same time?
He's super dynamic guard. He quick. I like it. He takes the weight off my shoulders. He can bring the ball up, relieve me from when it's pressure. So I embrace it. I love playing with him, man. He's a great player to play with.
I imagine you go against him a lot in practice. That first step, how do you defend that? It seems like nobody has this year.
Man, it's quick. You kind of just got to close your eyes and hope for the best. I ain't going to lie to you, for sure.
Parsa, you were kind of smiling when he was talking about how much y'all run in practice. How is that for the big guys?
Oh, man, it's hard. It's hard. I hate practices, I'm not going to lie. I wake up every morning and I know I got practice. It's hard, but as soon as we're done with practice, I know I got better. So it's a good thing, and we are winning, so it's obviously working. Coach Lutz is a great coach. We run a lot, but it's working out, so he's doing the right thing.
Have you always hated practice, or is that something new since you've gotten here?
Oh, it's new. I've never seen that before in my life. Yeah, Coach Lutz, he's pretty good, man. He knows what he's doing. We run a lot. I think our practices is harder than our game sometimes. So that's the reason we prepare for the game. As Kanye said, when we play heavy minutes, we just I don't really feel like I'm tired, and I know it's the same for the other players too. So yeah.
When you guys have a start like that might not be ideal. Is it kind of a figure out what works now, or is it kind of stick to your guns and what you guys been practicing all this time?
Stick to what we do. We got off to a slow start, but it's a long game. It's a 40-minute basketball game, You're not going to get it all back in one possession. So it's just like, you got to chop wood, carry water.
Miller obviously went down for any of y'all. What was kind of just the reaction and the mentality after that happened?
And you got to step up. The next man got to step up, and it hurt because VJ is a very good player who helped us in a lot of different ways. But in those situations, it's nothing we could do, and the next guy has to step up.
obviously in the moment, the frustrations there with, the turnovers and the close game, but when you kind of look back at it, is those tight games going to be good for you guys going down that stretch and almost the big moments? Do you enjoy stepping up in those times?
Oh, most definitely. I think, when March come around, late February, when the wins, you need the wins, and every position matters. We done been there. We've been in the fire with these early games. What was it? USF was a close game, so Northwestern. So, that's just preparing us for down the line. So, yeah, I think it works out.
Kanye, you mentioned your plus-minus to start this is double anybody else on the team. What were you doing out there to affect winning games?
We was losing, and I was trying to help us win, for real. It's just whatever, dive on the floor, hit deflection.
I can answer that question. I think Kanye, I think he's a really clutch player, and when it's the time, he knows how to finish and at the same time find his teammates. And I think he's playing really hard. Kanye and Lefty down the stretch, they really helped us. They really making tough plays. So I'm proud of them, and as you can see, plus 20s. It's pretty good.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
First thing I'm going to say is hats off to Chris Mudge and Sam Houston State. He's got a good basketball team. He's a good basketball coach, and those guys play really, really hard. In the landscape of today's college basketball, where NIL is so prevalent and it's hard to get talent without that dollar figure, which they don't really have. They drove a bus from Sam Houston State, from Huntsville, Texas, to play us to save money in their budget. Think about that. In a bus for 7 or 8 hours, and they came in here and they competed at the highest level possible. So give credit to those guys. Somebody's going to hire Chris Mudge one of these days, and he's gonna make some AD look really, really smart. Now, with that being said, I thought when the chips were down in the second half, our team was better defensively, but we've got a long ways to go in order to be successful in the Big 12 on the defensive end.
Similar defensive issues as you've seen? Is it something new? Sort of what? Is it just effort, consistency?
Guys, I think the first half was effort. I thought 5 of the first 6 possessions, 5 of the first 7 possessions, we got a stop and a rebound. And then, I shouldn't say a rebound. The 5th and 6th possession, we didn't rebound the basketball and gave them extra opportunities. But I thought our defense was fine there. And then, it just – I don't know, we put it in our hip pocket or we go away from it. We start thinking that we can just score the ball too easily, and that's not going to win you games in the Big 12. It's just not. Again, I know I'm preaching to the choir. We scored 93 points. I get it. But Kelvin Sampson, TJ Otzelberger, they ain't going to let us score 93 points. So we've got to prepare to win in the league that matters. And again, I'm happy that we won this game, but we've got to prepare to win in the Big 12. And tonight, the first half defense wasn't good enough.
You've had a few games here lately where down the stretch have been a little bit tighter, and you've been able to put things together and pull away. Have you learned anything about your team in those moments lately?
Yeah, you know what? I think that they've banded together and gotten stops when they needed to, other than this is 2 games in a row where we screwed up a ball screen coverage at the end of the game and we gave up a wide open layup. Right, and instead of taking it from 6 to 8, we allow it to get to 4, and we've just got to be better there. But no, these guys have banded together, and when the chips are down, it's been a different person that's kind of stepped up. The other night, Anthony Roy played really, really well offensively at Northwestern and hit a bunch of big shots. Tonight, Kanye Clary controlled the game in the second half with his passing, with his driving, and then left Terrace. Darn near got every rebound in the last 2 minutes of the game when it mattered. And again, I don't worry. I tell people all the time, don't worry about if you start. Worry about if you finish. Those are the guys that you count on. And we've had different guys step up, and we've been able to count on different guys, in different late game situations. So that's good to see.
Too, for the coaching staff as well. It might be frustrating to see those tight games and how your guys respond, especially as you head into, like you said, those tight games in Big 12 play.
Yeah, again, we're 8 games in, right? Plus Auburn, plus SMU. So you're still learning the group, and they're still learning me. In hindsight, maybe should have called a timeout right around the 4.5 minute mark and settled them down a little bit more. But I didn't, and we were able to get ourselves together, and we were able to organize ourselves, which is good because you're going to be in situations in the Big 12 where there are no timeouts left, and you're not going to be able to hear the staff from the bench. So you got to figure it out on your own, and I was proud of them for doing that. They did a good job with that.
What'd you like about what Parsa gave you tonight?
Shoot, I like everything about Parsa. He's been our most consistent player pretty much night in, night out. And that's not to discount VJ because VJ is very good, and we missed him when he went down with the ankle. But night in, night out, day in, day out, and in 44 practices, Parsa has been the most consistent person. He shows up every day. He pulls his shorts up, he laces up his shoes, he smiles, and he goes out there and competes. And we've got some other people on the team that need to adopt that philosophy, adopt that personality, because it's just going to carry you a long ways to success in life. And man, I'm proud of Parsa. Parsa deserves everything he gets because he doesn't complain, he doesn't show his face, he doesn't ever not think about the team first. And, he does it every single day. So we need more guys to buy into that behavior.
You mentioned VJ there. You have any update on him?
I do not.
And then Chris didn't play the second half. Was that injury related? Is that
coach's decision?
You mentioned Kanye. He finished plus 20 in a game that you guys won by 10. Just as sort of what was he doing to impact winning the level?
Well, when it was, obviously we started off the half with some middle ball screens for him. And because Coach Mudge is so aggressive defensively, that's going to give you spacing, right, as you're getting downhill. And I thought he made really good decisions other than that one where he's cramping up, but I don't fault him for that by any means. He when it was time to pass, he dropped the ball off to Parsa. When it was time to score at the rim, he either got fouled or he scored at the rim, and he did a better job making his free throws, especially down the stretch. So that's what good point guards do. They control the game, and I thought that he did a good job with that, especially in the second half.
Coach, you talked about, it's not who starts, but who finishes those games. How big is it to have those guys like Lefty with his experience and Kanye to kind of bring that veteran knowledge in those big moments?
Yeah, it's a feather in our cap. I credit the staff for recruiting good players and good people. And, I credit the administration and our friends that have helped with NIL and revenue sharing, because we wouldn't have these good players if it wasn't for all those things rolled into one. But yeah, it makes coaching easier, it makes practice easier, and it translates into winning.
You seem to really like the double big kind of lineup with Fallah and Lefty. What do you like so much about them together on the floor?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a double big lineup as much as Lefty played small forward in Greece for a long, long time. We play him at the small forward. We play him at the power forward. And Parsa can play power forward as well. I think you have a lot of versatility with those guys. And I think you have versatility with Christian as well. Tonight wasn't his night per se, but they all give you a little different look, and they all give you a little different offensive and defensive punch. I think we've got, good talent there. So, it just kind of depends on the night as to who's doing what.
Talk about that duo, also having Kanye and Jalen out there on the court together. How much does that bring, both kind of being natural point guards?
Sure. Yeah. I've said it over and over. You got to put my job is to put the best players on the floor in the positions to help us win, right? And if those guys are the two best at that time, let's play them together. I'm not worried about their size. They can both defend, and they both give you really explosive plays transition-wise, right? They can both beat you off the bounce. They can both be to the rim really, really quickly, and that puts a lot of pressure on the defense. So, yeah, it's fun, especially when you lose VJ for tonight. That gave you, another ball handler, because usually VJ's, obviously a secondary ball handler and even plays some point for us.
With Anthony's shooting ability, do you sometimes just have to live with some contested looks every once in a while to get him going?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I don't know that I have the answer for you right now. I know that, I had to sub him out for the one and just said, hey, man, we can get that shot anytime. But, yes, good players are going to take some maybe questionable shots because they can make them. But I'd rather talk about Anthony Roy's 5 assists and, 8 rebounds tonight. right? We've talked a lot to him about rebounding the basketball. And because he is such an explosive scorer, defenses are going to load up to you, right? They're not going to allow you just to shoot whenever you want, and we don't need to keep stepping backwards, right? Let's get the ball to the rim and let's kick it out opposite, or let's drop it off to the big. And I thought he did a better job with that tonight. But when you're rolling, I get it, man. Take a couple, and we can kind of live with them. But we've just got to be more cognizant about time and score and momentum of the game.
You mentioned Anthony's 5 assists. When he was in here, he was talking about, as a team, you guys being more unselfish. And do you feel like there's room to grow there still?
I do. I mean, we had 17 assists on 34 made baskets the other night at Northwestern, Brian. We had 19 assists on 27, I believe. So, we can share the ball when we want to. And the good thing about this team, in my opinion at least, is that when we do drive the ball, or when we do have the defense converge upon us, you're passing it to someone that can make a shot. So it's not like you're thinking in the back of your mind, hey, do I take a hard shot here at the rim or contested shot at the rim versus throwing it to a wide open teammate, because you have teammates that have talent too. So it should be an easy decision. It's basketball. You drive it, 2 people converge, pass the ball.